Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Age Origins. I am Wulfrun, your favorite buff dungeon master. This is Einar, Kuzlind, and Morrigan, and Liliana, and Alistair. We got Alistair a new sword. I did last of the side questing off screen just because I figured why not. Let's get Sten. Oh my gosh. What is happening with Sten?
I wish something more of me.
Texture glitches. I have the key to open your cage.
I confess.
Oh my god.
I did not think the priestess would part with it.
She agreed to release you into my custody.
So be it. Set me free and I will follow you against the blight.
Very well. I'll let you out.
And so it is done. I will follow you into battle. In doing so, I shall find my atonement.
Thank you, Sten. Glad to have you with us.
May we proceed? I am eager to be elsewhere.
Oh my god. The graphical glitches are... Yeah, he's not going to be in the party for right now. Alright, now we're going to head out of Lothering.
We done heard what was said. You're a warden. I don't know if you killed King Kalen, and make her forgive me, I don't care. But that bounty on your head could feed a lot of hungry bellies.
Oh.
Attack!
Guys, you're going to die so fast.
Oh, the Grey Waters!
Make it preserve us!
Sorry guys, I didn't want to kill you now, but you guys decided that you are going to kill me. Oh, way more of them showed up.
You've got! Watch out!
Can you do dirty fighting this guy? It's a lot of people. Just a quick heal first. Hey, get away from possibly my girlfriend. Okay, these texture glitches are weird. I'm wondering if I have mods on accident that are causing this problem. I don't think I have any mods. Except for like that one. I don't even know how to look anymore. These texture glitches are weird. I'll have to look into that after this episode. And we're leaving for the open road. Oh, Darkspawn! Darkspawn, holy shit.
Now it's better than
Mighty
later.
blow him. Alistair.
Let's make...
Ooh, Morrigan. Actually.
this quick!
Good. Oh shit. Homie.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off
Woo!
my back?
Good work. Alistair, I need you to attack this guy. Potion. Morgan, I really need you to learn how to heal. Liliana, kill this little guy. Hitting shot. Missed. Kill this guy. Blocked. Those are blocked.
Run while you can!
Shouldn't be blocked. Go. You guys okay?
Mighty timely arrival there,
What is
my
with these
friend.
texture
I'm much
glitches?
obliged.
You're welcome.
The name's Bodon Feddick, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
Road's been mighty dangerous these days. Mind if I ask what brings you out here? Perhaps we're going the same way.
It's a bit complicated, but you're welcome to come along.
Complicated? Somehow I imagine that only says half of it. Thank you for the offer, but there may be more excitement on your path than is good for my boy and me. Allow me to bid you farewell and good fortune.
Goodbye.
Now then, let's get this mess cleaned up, shall we?
Okay, that's really weird. I'm getting weak. These texture glitches are so odd. And it's only on like the normal commoner clothes. Yeah, it's on clothing and only clothing. I wonder what's causing that. I'll have to look into that after this session. Gather your party and venture forth? Yes. Okay, I'm getting weird texture glitches in general. Oh! Oh! A darkspawn and a dragon. That's not good. That's not good at all. Oh my god, what is with these texture glitches?
Bad
Okay,
dream.
that looks okay, I guess. Must have been something I ate.
Drank more like, as in the tainted blood, remember? You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
Okay, let's see. The Archdemon. Is that the dragon?
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
Yeah, sorry, that kind of shit just breaks my immersion sometimes. Thank you, Alistair, I appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for. To deliver unpleasant news and witty one-liners. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
Okay, so real quick before we talk to anybody, let's give Sten some different armor. And the battle axe. Yeah. Now I'm gonna save real quick, and I'm just gonna try reloading the game and see if that works. See if that helps. Okay. Well, that texture glitch is gone now, so that... Did that fix my issues? Let's go see if Bodan has texture issues. I think I just... Nope.
Good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Fennick, at your service, once again. I saw your camp and remembered the kind offer that you made the last time we met. And is there anywhere safer for a poor merchant and his son to sleep? I think not. I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
Feel free to say, just mind yourselves.
Wonderful. Thank the gentleman, won't you, boy?
Thank you, sir.
We won't be a bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me.
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments.
Okay.
One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
What enchantments does he do?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform. But my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment!
And there you have it.
I want some enchanting done. Oh, Oathkeeper can be enchanted. We'll do that later. But for right now, we're gonna... This is bothering me so much. I'm actually gonna save here, and I will be right back, guys. I'm really sorry about this. This is gonna take me completely out of it. I was not having these issues like yesterday with this game. So, I will be... Hey everybody, I'm back. So it looks like this is just a regular problem with the new versions of the game, because the game is only supposed to technically allow for 2 GB of RAM memory, and on new computers, they don't know how to deal with that. So this might need to be something we deal with over time.
Oh, why, you little...
The dog's got white fur for right now. Did you just jump at the sight of your own shadow again?
Oh, you're so funny. Such rapier wit. Your furry friend here took offence at me getting near his food. He snapped at me. Look.
It's just a warning. He could have taken a hand off.
Don't you think I don't know it? Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me.
Easy, good boy. Yeah, so for the rest of this episode, we're mostly just going to be talking to people at camp. We're going to start with the one we know the best, Alistair.
What do you need?
Do you want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
He was like a father to you. I understand.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the blight and everything. I'm sorry.
There's no need to apologize.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
He had you?
I suppose he did. It probably sounds stupid, but part of me wishes I was with him, in the battle. I feel like I abandoned him.
No, I understand completely. I sometimes wish I'd been with my father.
Of course. I'd be dead then, wouldn't I? It's not like that would make him happier. I think he came from High Ever.
Hey,
Or so
I'm
he
from
said.
there.
Maybe I'll go up there sometime. See about putting up something in his honor. I don't know. Have you had someone close to you die? Not that I mean to cry, just...
My entire family was murdered just recently.
Oh, of course. How stupid of me to forget. Here I am going on and on about Duncan, and you... I am so sorry. Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
Maybe I'll go to High Ever with you when you go.
I'd like that. So would he, I think.
I mean, if my brother's dead, I'll be Lord of High Ever, so I'll be the only one who can really do it, so... Yeah. What's that? Pillows, I guess? Okay. We're not gonna... We'll just talk to everyone all at once.
What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
So how did you become a Grey Warden?
Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already.
Oh, you're so funny. Ha ha ha. Ha ha, very funny.
I do my best. What can I say? Let's see, I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills.
So you mentioned before.
It's really for the best. I'm not exactly the Chantry type, if you haven't noticed. I don't think I would have made a very good Templar. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did. I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky.
Why did the The Gland Cleric. Oh my god, the Gland Cleric. That sounds so messed up. Oh, yes, we're going to see the Gland Cleric. I'm sorry for disturbing you like that. Yes, so why did the Grand Cleric want to keep...
I wondered that myself.
I'm gonna be thinking about
It's not as if
Gland.
she
You know what? I'm making a
valued
homebrew D&D
I
class.
think
That's
she just
the
didn't want to
Gland
give anything
Cleric.
to the Grey Wardens is all. Chance we didn't lose much.
Glands.
And I think I can do more fighting the Blight anyhow, rather than sitting in a temple somewhere.
I
I'll
agree,
always be
handsome
thankful to
man.
Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have.
Oh, he's taking this really hard. It's kind of sad to see, honestly. I do wish we could get a remake of this game with, like, the Baldur's Gate 3 engine so we could see Alistair's face. Ooh. He was a good man.
He was. A good man who didn't deserve his fate. That much I'm sure of. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking. What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
So you said all Eben raised you?
Oh, did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact.
Ah, yes, that would explain the smell.
Well, it wasn't until I was 8 that I discovered you didn't have to lick yourself clean. Old habits die hard, you know.
So does a horde of darkspawn, I'm told.
Point taken. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Arleman wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough.
Arleman's like... Could just throw this baby away. She was a really good servant girl, though. Hey, I don't have any kids yet. Let's go. I'll raise this tiny boy. He wasn't your father, so you know who is.
I know who I was told was my father. He died even before my mother did, anyhow. It isn't important. Arleman eventually married a young woman from Morlaix, which caused all sorts of
foreshadowing,
problems between him and the
I think.
king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, the new Arlessa resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did.
A little bit of Jon
So off
Snow
I was
vibes
packed
there.
to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
A little bit of Jon Snow vibes there. Alistair, like, oh, but kind of opposite though, because like in Jon's case they like lied and said he was a bastard, and in Alistair's case, like people are like, oh, he's the Arl's bastard, and everyone's like, no, he's not. Stop it. He's not. He's not. Arleman's like, I did not have sexual relations with that maid and make this baby. I did not do it. I did not do it. Oh God. If he wasn't voice acted, I would just have Arleman talk like this. I did not have sexual relations with that handmaiden. I did not. My fellow Fereldans, I have lied to you. I did have sexual relations with that handmaiden. Just kidding. Well, that sounds like an awful thing to do to a child.
Maybe. She felt threatened by my presence, I can see that now. I can't say I blame her. She wondered if the rumors were true herself, I bet.
Probably.
I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid, stupid thing to do. The Jarl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming.
You were young.
And raised by dogs. Or I may as well have been.
Yeah,
the way I
sounds about
acted.
right.
But maybe all young bastards act like that. I don't know. All I know is that the Jarl is a good man, and well loved by the people. He also was King Kaelin's uncle. So he has a personal motivation to see
Yeah,
Lothering
if someone
paid
murdered
for
my
what he
nephew,
did.
I'd be pretty pissed off.
Anyway, that's really all there is to the story.
Alistair approves of war.
What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
Why do you remain a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
I thought Templars wore heavy plate mostly.
That's just in public. In private, we have these yellow and purple tunics, right? Much more comfortable, and you don't break the beds when you jump on them during a pillow fight.
Ah, you had lots of these pillow fights, I take it.
Pillow fights? I mean, no, of course not. I meant sword fights.
Aww.
With rusty swords, dripping with acid. The kind that puts hair on your chest. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
I will have pillow fights with you, Alistair. You don't need to lie to me. You can be honest. I will pillow fight with you. I will pillow fight with you in our yellow and purple tunics and go, oh no, Alistair, you've hit me so hard. Maybe not Einar. Einar, I haven't decided if I think he's bi, but I know Alistair's straight. And in this house, even if we are bisexual, we do not impose our sexuality on straight people. Straight people are allowed to be straight. Alistair's allowed to be straight. Now, do I think that games, when games do what Baldur's Gate 3 did and made everyone pan, I think that's fine? Yeah, fuck yeah I do. But I also think it's okay when games do like this. Like, there are characters who are bisexual. Like, there are 2 bisexual characters in this game, and there's 2 straight characters of the 4 characters you can romance. So, I think it's fine to have Alistair be straight. There's no worries. Part of me wishes he wasn't. But that's his choice. It's actually BioWare's choice. But I would flirt with this man. I would. He is the ultimate golden retriever boyfriend. He is a himbo. He is himbo incarnate. This right here. This man. Himbo. I do really want to know, yes.
Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Alistair.
Yes, please do.
All right, if you insist. It's
Please
not
do.
like we have anything better to do, right? The truth of the matter is,
I actually don't
did
simp for
hate going
Alistair
to
super
monastery.
hard. I like Alistair as
the
a character,
initiates
but
from poor families
I-
thought I put
I
on
do
airs,
love the
while
guy,
the noble
but
ones called me a bastard
not
and
Einar's
ignored
type.
me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
I feel like if they made these Dragon Age games nowadays, he'd be voiced by Gale's voice actor, but as more like masculine, like warrior presence. Seems fitting. What am I thinking? I had a thought. Yeah, I don't actually simp for Alistair that much, but I know many, many people do. He's like Caden from Mass Effect. If Caden had a personality. I'm sorry, Basic. Caden has no... Basic Wit Girl, Caden does not have a personality. I'm sorry. His personality is, I am white man from Canada. I like Alistair, though. Alistair's cool. He's one of my favorite characters in all of Dragon Age, but I don't simp for him like a lot of other people do. I simp for a couple of other people in this game. You will find out very quickly who they are. And what did you enjoy about the training?
The education, mostly, but also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere,
resolution dude in the back
until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up.
Yeah, Darkspawn
What about
magic's
you?
Gross.
Do you have anywhere you consider home?
My home was taken over by Arlhow.
Right. Stupid of me to ask. I'm sorry. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose...
not necessarily.
the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
We're at camp, dude. +1?
What do you need?
Yes, he's up.
Ask away.
We'll do all that later. Actually, no, I want to learn about being a Templar.
What do you need? Ask away.
What can a Templar do exactly?
Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you.
Oh, I'm aware.
They're an army.
They are a holy army.
The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages.
What? The
To that
Knights
end,
Templar
we
are a
train in
holy
talents
army?
that drain mana and disrupt spells.
Gasp! Gasp! Yeah, Dragon Age, I love the lore of Dragon Age in the universe. Is so fucking interesting to me. But they do go a little heavy-handed with the Christianity vibes with Chantry. Like medieval Christianity for sure. And then there's also hints of paganism with the Tevinter gods and the Elven gods, but like they go heavy-handed on like this is the area in medieval history where everyone was Christian, but in this universe. So couldn't others learn these talents?
Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted.
Ooh, yeah.
And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together.
So you were addicted to this lyrium?
Thankfully, no. You only start receiving lyrium once you've taken your vows. You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templars' talents more effective. Or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me. What do you need? Ask away.
Can you teach others to be a Templar?
I suppose I could. But I really would rather not. When the Grand Cleric let Duncan recruit me, she made me swear never to reveal Templar secrets outside of the Chantry. I'd rather not go back on my word.
Okay. Very well. I'll respect your word.
Ask me later, perhaps. Maybe I'll change my mind. This is not something small you're asking, after all.
Yeah, I mean, we just became friends, so... The dog textures are still off. Yee, good boy, Cal. Let's do another Cal convo.
I once heard a really old legend about
kinda
how
like the white
hound
fur, though.
warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what
He's
I
got
heard
scratch
anyway.
colors right
Sometimes
now.
be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Stop scaring my dog. Don't listen to Alistair. He's full of rubbish.
Hey!
I'm glad you don't get any dialogue stuff, like, loss for that. Let's actually go to Bodan and buy some stuff. Yeah, it's when I get close to him that the textures go off.
Are you sure I can't interest you in this hat? A pair of earrings, perhaps?
Let me see your
I'm
wares.
sure you...
Yeah, so that's interesting that that's what happens. Yeah, we'll just get rid of these. I need to see if that actually is good for Lilia. Get rid of all of this shit. I don't need it. Ooh, what's he got? Nothing really crit. Holy shit, what is that? Yeah, we're just gonna take 2 of those. Wait. Until we're working to me. Oh! That's pretty cool. Ooh. +6 sec, +6 armor. Ooh, that's good for my dog when I have enough gold for that. Bowman's belt. +2 range critical chance. Increased monetary gain. +5 cold damage. +5 fire damage. Oh. Holy shit. Get that for Liliana for now. That's it. Actually, I need to equip this shit. +2 Constitution. +1 Willpower. Oh, okay. She's already got something. +10 Cold Resistance. You know what? Let's be funny. Since he's kind of a Goliath, let's give him that. It's only textures on like the normal clothing. That is interesting. It's only Bodan. It's not Sandal. Does it work having a Levy? It does not. Huh. We'll talk to Levy later. He gives us a quest. So we'll go in order of when we got the party. So let's go to Morrigan next.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
How did you grow up in the Kokari Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
Oh, so like I said, Einar is going to be a bit of a flirt. He may not even mean anything with his flirting, but he's going to flirt. You could probe me anytime.
Beg pardon then, while I jump for joy. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time, I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
All right. And you remained unnoticed?
For the most part. Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
That makes sense. Very daring. That sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps.
Her gold eyes are
Only
so
once
interesting.
was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be travelling with a merchant caravan.
Uh-oh.
He pointed and gasped, and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
Smart. Well, that was good thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive.
Yeah.
I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play.
Oh, you're dangerous.
The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Were you upset by all the bad touching?
At least with that sort of touching, I would have been able to intuit the intent with far greater ease.
Oh, that's
There
dark.
are many nuances
Oh,
that
I
Flemeth
shouldn't
could
have said
never
that
tell me
option.
of. When to look into another's eyes, how to eat at a table, how to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Joke's on you! Now you're traveling with Einar and friends. I guess the joke's on you then.
You were a fine one to be pointing out the humour of fate. Shall we examine your predicament on the whole?
No, let's
Let's
not.
Me? I prefer the jest on me to the jest on you.
Oh,
Well, let's get on with it before the
fuck.
ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Fuck. That was a bird.
Yes?
Oh. So life in the wilds must have been very lonely.
At times, perhaps.
I'm not going to
A
do every
world
bit
full
of conversation with
people
all
and
of them. I'm
buildings
just going to
and
do a lot of
things
them,
was
though.
all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
So Morrigan, if she were a D&D character, would be a druid. Like, hardcore druid. Maybe like a druid wizard multiclass. I think that would kind of fit. Nah, Morrigan is a fucking druid, let's be real. But you eventually left.
Such simple pleasures will only enthrall for so long. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these
Total druid.
strange
Absolutely
townsfolk
druid.
from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. It was encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
I can't imagine Flemeth was pleased. So she literally went, shiny. Like a little gremlin. Like the way she's like describing it is like, tee-hee, I'm running back home with my new trinket. But what I'm imagining is this little gremlin girl just being like, shiny. That's more what I'm imagining.
She was not. Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble.
Big oof.
To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
But you were just a child.
And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
Those are harsh lessons to teach a child.
Perhaps, but they were necessary still. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place in its reality.
I just picture like a little Morrigan with like wild, crazy hair just going and running away. Okay, let's do a couple more.
Yes.
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
Oh, she flirting. Oh no. And you are cute when you're evasive.
Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too.
They are pretty fucking
My mother
adorable.
has been hunted from time to time, yes.
I don't know if he's going to
by
romance
Templar
Morrigan. I haven't
fools
decided.
like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were.
Oh,
Flemeth
leave
made
the
a bit
boy
of a game
alone.
of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
27. Okay. I feel sorry for the Templars.
They came with as much swagger and arrogance as they did self-righteousness. Pity them if you wish, for they held none for us.
Fair
Flemeth
enough.
would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Flemeth used you as bait.
'Twas a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset.
That's
Thankfully,
fucking
the
dark.
wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
So Maleficarum, I know we've heard the word apostate, which means like just an illegal mage. Maleficarum are blood mages. They use their blood to channel their magic and summon demons and stuff like that, which is part of the reason why. But you can ask, what exactly is an apostate? Do you still think that was fun?
I think that my mother made it fun so that a child did not learn to fear.
That's
And I
fair.
think that it was necessary. There are no trials for apostates, no prisons, no mercy. There are only absolutes, so only survival matters. If the wilds have taught me anything, 'tis this. First, You must survive. Do you disagree?
I don't know. I think Einar right now is going to think back to his parents and how they gave up everything so he could survive. And I think he's going to think about that and look up at Morgan and just... You're probably right.
An enlightened view, or at least an agreeable one. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Yeah, first, let's get you... Is it better than what you got, actually? Plus 1 spell power, plus 5% spirit damage. No, the stuff she has is better.
Yes?
Let's hurry one more.
If you must.
Is Flemeth really what she seems to be?
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
An old woman.
Oh, she is certainly old. Have no mistake of that. Tell me.
So I was right.
How
Fuck
much
yeah!
do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I'm more interested in the truth.
I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
You know, that sounds interesting.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
And just how long ago is this?
Many centuries, before this land was even named Ferelden.
That's a long time
The
ago.
tales say that
Ferelden's
Flemeth
been around
fell
for a
in
few
love
centuries.
with Osen the bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord, who looked on from afar.
Oh, shit.
Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife. And Osen agreed.
What? Douche. He sold his wife to another man?
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement. All would have been well had Lord Conabar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
I'm not going to say anything, but after having played Inquisition all the way through, knowing what I know, this story is making a lot of sense when you know what you know about Flemeth after the other two games. So she spoke to spirits or demons?
Spirits first, and 'twas they who slew Conabar. Flemeth did not turn to the demon until much later. Lord Conabar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong.
That part's definitely a
The
lie.
legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Which? She never invaded or he never defeated her?
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
Interesting. The legends tell of Flemeth having many daughters.
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself.
Oh, I just realized.
The stories tell of many
Einar's
witches of
voice
the
is
wilds,
turning
after
into
all,
Kylan's.
not
I
just
need
the
to fix
one.
that.
And these tales existed long before I did.
Right.
Flemeth
I know it's like
refuses
more
to
like
speak
this.
of
A
other
little bit
daughters,
more-
if they
There
existed.
we go. Let's get
So,
Einar's
should I
voice
believe
back.
I am her
Right.
first? I doubt that too.
So Kylan's voice is more like this, and Einar's voice is a little bit more flirty, we'll say that. An interesting story. Thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
My mother died. Recently, in fact.
Ah, then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which is very little, I am certain. It matters not. Let us move on.
Okay. Let's actually see where we're at with all of them. Alistair, still at neutral. Ah. A little above neutral? Neutral. Friendly. +0. Okay, yeah. Let's talk to Sten first, because he's probably not going to have a lot to say. Because we're not going to bring you with us anywhere for a while, dude.
Why are we stopping?
We're working together. I think I should get to know you.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
I need to know if I can trust you at my back.
I am Kunari. I have given my word to aid you. We are not people of idle promises.
I've never seen a Kunari before. Tell me about your people.
No.
Please?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of... The elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
I forgot about that line. Who excel at poverty. Yikes. You said you were in the army.
I am.
What made you decide to become a soldier?
Decide. I am a Sten of the Beresad. I did not choose to be who I am any more than you did.
Why would the Kunari send soldiers here?
The Antam are the eyes, hands, and mouth of the Kunari. We are how my people know the world.
You didn't really answer my question.
No, I didn't.
Are you always this stubborn?
Yes. There is no point to this. We are keeping the Darkspawn waiting.
Are you alright? You were in that cage for weeks.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
We should get moving.
As you wish.
+2.
Yes.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Why did you come to Ferelden?
To answer a question.
What was the question?
The Arishok asked what is the Blight.
The
By his
Arishok.
curiosity, I am now here.
What is an Arishok?
The one who commands the Antam, the body of the Kunari.
So he's your king?
Kunari have no kings.
What do you have then?
Little patience for endless questions.
Do you find the answer to this question?
A portion of it.
Don't you have to report back then?
Yes.
When are you going to do that?
Never. I cannot go home.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting.
What were you doing in that cage?
Sitting, as you observed.
Very funny.
Thank you.
Are you going to answer my question?
I did. Parshera. Was there anything else? As you wish.
Sten is... Oh, +8. Okay, that's +10 for him. Sten's difficult. Now, other hottie. Hello, other hottie. So, Einar, there's one other possible romance for Einar that'll be joining later, but right now I'm debating between Morgan and Liliana.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
She's so fucking cute! She's so fucking adorable. This vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
You dreamed of the Blight.
I suppose I did. That was what the darkness was, no?
Probably.
When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
And this made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the Blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the Blight devours everything?
So it's interesting because she has these visions and religious things, and I am a religious person, but I'm definitely not Christian in real life. But I have my own religion. But I'm not going to be the guy who tells people to believe it. I don't think Einar is either. I think I've decided Einar is Andrastian. He believes in... I personally would not be in this world, probably. I don't know. There's a lot more evidence in that one. But anyway, I think Einar is Andrastian. But he's not like a hardcore, like, Andrastian, where it's like, if you're not Andrastian, you're evil kind of thing. I think he's just kind of like, he believes in the Maker, but he's not too taken in by it. Like, I guess closer to an agnostic. He believes in the Maker. Let's say that. But he's not really big on the whole faith, on the whole organized religion part. But he has faith. I suppose I couldn't sit by either. And he's not going to be one to judge Liliana for her religious views.
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a Blight to stop. Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What was life like in the Chantry Cloister?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Yes. They do tend to be a little self-righteous, I think.
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
Huh. Yeah. So, I misunderstood what she was saying when I was a kid. I thought she was saying that she believes that the Maker can't have love for all, but she's saying she doesn't like how the brothers and sisters in the Chantry have that viewpoint. And I agree. Liliana is the type of Andrastian that I wish most Christians were, frankly. That God loves everyone. Doesn't matter their sexual orientation, doesn't matter their anything. That's why I like Liliana's interpretation of the Maker. Because in this world, most Andrastians think that the Maker has left, like he's gone. So that when he does occasionally turn his gaze on people, like she said, they're special. I prefer, this is the honest truth coming from Einar. I feel like he would think this. I prefer your ideas to the ideas of the Chantry.
Thank you. Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry. But there is work to be done. And I have talked enough for now.
No, you haven't, cutie pie.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What would someone like you be doing in Lothering's Chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
Sanctimonious preachy, they don't teach you how to fight in the cloister, you just don't seem to belong in the cloister. You know, A beautiful, charming woman like yourself?
And there were no beautiful, charming women in the cloisters, you think? You would be wrong. There were many lovely young initiates in the Lothering cloister, all of them chaste and virtuous. It added to their mystique, because then they were forbidden, and forbidden fruit is the sweeter, no?
Resist this. Resist. Don't say it, Einar. Instead, be a little bit more smooth. So this is like the incel flirt option, in my opinion. What about your fruit? Is it forbidden? What about your fruit? Is it forbidden? No. Einar's gonna go, those initiates can't have been more lovely than you.
Flatterer. I, however, did not take vows, and so perhaps
Really?
provide succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
So your skills were learned before your time at the Chantry.
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais.
A bard!
Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
Hey DM, can I roll insight, please? I want to insight check that.
Yes? Something you need?
Ah! I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Why did you decide to come to Ferelden?
My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden.
Oh, okay.
Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her.
Okay.
I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
What happened to your mother? What happened to your mother, Liliana?
Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
You were young. It's understandable.
Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance.
Oh!
Mother called them Andrastis Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on.
Where are we sitting with Liliana now? 23! Yo! What we got time? We got time. Let's talk to Alistair a little more first.
What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
Tell me about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
Where are the nearest Grey Wardens from here? Oh, geez, no. Where are the nearest Grey Wardens from here?
That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens in other lands.
Gotcha. Is there a headquarters? Is there a headquarters somewhere?
Here in Ferelden, there's our compound in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Loghain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt.
Probably.
Beyond that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress. That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens in the Anderfelds, 1,000 miles from here. But I've no idea how to even contact
that's pretty far away.
So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go.
So what happens now that there's just the two of us?
I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll
So I
send
imagine
someone
Duncan was the
eventually.
Warden Commander then.
Though who knows what Loghain's people in Denerim will tell them. Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us.
Fair. Yeah, like... Shit, yeah, that's a lot of pressure, a little bit there. Will we need to start rebuilding the order?
I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens, right? But I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult to prepare, but that's it.
I'm sure we can find out.
Unless we can find out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to the idea that there might only be 2 of us for now. Until more come from elsewhere.
What would happen if we just left?
Just left? You mean just left for Eldon? I don't know. If there's an archdemon, however, we're supposed to be the only ones who can defeat it. And that means the blight would grow unchecked. Eventually, other Grey Wardens in Orlais and other lands would hear about it, and they would come to fight it, but they wouldn't come in time to save Ferelden.
Yeah.
There's no way. I'm not going anywhere.
I have no more questions.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. What do you need?
I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
Never mind. Okay. I'm so used to Baldur's Gate 3 that I almost wanted to click long rest. Let's do one more dog. Dog!
Look at what your fool dog placed in my pack.
What is he? Oh, he's so happy. What did he give you?
A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
It's the thought that counts, he means well.
The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
You heard the lady.
I don't want it, you worthless
Whoa,
furbag.
whoa. You don't talk to my dog like that. No one talks to Cal like that. I think you hurt his feelings.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
At least she's honest. He's okay, buddy. Oh, Sten. Okay, this is kind of funny. Well, Sten's got pointed ears. Kind of.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Any more? Trying to fight a way through the earth, are we? I love the stock so much. He's so cute. It's going to take some time, you know. Well, good luck with that then. All right. So I think that's where we're going to end this episode, guys. That was a long episode of just talking. And next time on Let's Roleplay Dragon Age Origins, Einar and party will head out into the world and probably head to Redcliffe Castle. So I will see you all on the next episode of Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. Thanks for watching.